When I stood before the people of Enugu, I asked them to believe in a different future. We committed ourselves to eradicate poverty, make Enugu the preferred destination for living, working, investing, business, tourism, and leisure, and grow our economy from approximately $4.4 billion to $30 billion in 8 years. Now, some believed ambitions of this scale belonged before a commission on lunacy, rather than in an election manifesto. But the greatest danger was never thinking too big. It was thinking too small. Before we laid a single kilometer of road or commissioned a project, we wrote a citizens' charter, a covenant making government accountable for the future we had promised. We committed ourselves to security, public trust, expanded opportunity, and investment where human development leverage could be achieved. This became the foundation of Enugu's quantum leap. The deliberate acceleration of human development by removing multiple structural barriers simultaneously and building the integrated conditions through which capability can flourish. We would not treat schools, health facilities, roads, power, agriculture, industry, transport, and technology as isolated projects. Rather, we design them as connected platforms for human capability. Within this architecture, education occupies the center. For successive budget cycles, approximately 1/3 of the state budget had been devoted to education. Not simply to construct buildings, but to ensure that every child in every ward can access a school that prepares that child for the future, not the past. Our response is a network of 268 smart green school campuses covering all our 260 political wards, approximately 7,000 classrooms, with interactive smart boards, 26,000 desktop computers, laboratories, digital libraries, innovation studios, clinics, smart farms, school meals, water, teachers' accommodation, solar energy, and internet connectivity. Our basic education, uniforms, and learning materials are free of charge. The purpose is to close the divides between rural and urban children, attendance and genuine learning, knowledge acquired and capability activated. The pathway continues through our smart senior secondary schools, modern TVET colleges, and transformed tertiary institutions. At the heart of this education transformation is again CELI, the Center for Experiential Learning and Innovation, responsible for integrating curriculum, teacher development, research, digital literacy, skill intelligence, industry partnerships, and evidence. More than 23,000 teachers have undergone digital literacy development. And we have just recently approved the merit-based recruitment of 4,698 additional teachers for our smart green schools. Buildings and devices do not create learning. Their value depends upon teachers capable of awakening curiosity, guiding inquiry, and connecting knowledge to application. Across our technical and vocational education and training colleges, we have launched joint school enterprise training programs through which our technically inclined students are being trained in modern ICT industry knowledge at the Enugu Higher Factory, as well as in mechatronics, aquaponics, precision welding, and fabrication and fashion and design. Beyond TVET and senior secondary schools, we are transforming our tertiary institutions, including the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, the State University of Medical and Applied Sciences, our health colleges, the Enugu State Polytechnic at Iwolo, and the State College of Education Technical, into institutions that connect knowledge to research, technology, enterprise, production, and public value. We're establishing a new state university of artificial intelligence and technology. A new state university of education and technology, and a new state university of agriculture, agro-industrialization, and technology. At ESUT and IMT, we have accredited new degree programs in automation, artificial intelligence, mechatronics, while enabling our ESUT College of Medicine to rank top in national accreditation. Meanwhile, our State University of Medical and Applied Sciences at Igboland demonstrates how teaching, research, innovation, and service can meet. Its recent international medical mission treated 3,150 patients and performed 804 surgical procedures within 2 weeks. Major institution-based and national-sponsored research projects are underway. Our ambition has never been simply to educate children. It is to develop citizens who think critically, solve problems creatively, embrace technology confidently, act with character, and imagine possibility beyond those they inherited. But government must be judged not by the scale of its projects, but by what those projects make possible in human lives. What does this architecture look like in the life of one child? What does a quantum shift in education look like? It begins when a child walks through the gates of a smart green school. That child enters not a system designed simply to transfer information, but an environment designed to awaken curiosity, character, confidence, and capability. Learning extends from the classroom into the laboratory, library, farm, innovation studio, community, and the wider world. Children investigate real problems, test ideas, build solutions, learn from failure, and reflect upon what they discovered. Permit me to illustrate what that journey can become. Recently, a young learner named Arinze Edoga from our pilot Smart Green School in the rural community of Owo stood before a room filled with students in Enugu City, not as a visitor or observer, but as their instructor. Confidently, he taught digital literacy, demonstrated practical ICT skills, responded to questions, and displayed the problem-solving habits he had developed through experiential learning. Only 2 years earlier, Arinze had entered one of our smart green schools in a community many might have assumed would remain at the margins of technological opportunity. Yet, he had acquired the competence and confidence to teach children whom conventional thinking might have expected to teach him. For too long, we accepted that knowledge flows in one direction, from cities to villages, the privileged to the overlooked, those with opportunity to those without. But when we democratize quality education, knowledge moves in every direction. A rural school becomes a center of innovation. A village child becomes a teacher of urban peers. A community once regarded merely as a beneficiary becomes a contributor. In Arinze, you see more than a young boy using a computer. You see restored confidence, democratized opportunity, and a child once defined by geography becoming a creator of knowledge rather than merely a consumer of it. You see the dignity of man. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe understood that dignity is restored when education enables people to discover their worth and contribute meaningfully to society. Our responsibility is to extend that dignity to every child, in every community, no matter how remote. One child cannot prove system-wide transformation, but one child can reveal capabilities the inherited system failed to see and demonstrate what becomes possible when infrastructure, technology, pedagogy, mentorship, and opportunity are deliberately brought together. Arinze is not an anecdote offered in place of evidence. He's an early demonstration of the theory. Imagine what 2 years have produced in the life of one learner. Then, imagine 10 years. Imagine Enugu when hundreds of thousands of children grow up believing not that they are waiting for opportunity to arrive, but that they possess the capability to create it. Imagine. That journey continues through secondary school, education, TVETs, and universities. Technical education must connect skills to industry, production, and enterprise. University education must open deep inquiry, collaboration, technology, and applied learning. Yet, financial hardship must not close the final gate. And this is where I couldn't agree anymore with the Vice Chancellor on the impact of the President's initiative. So I acknowledge, just as you did, the consequential intervention of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, through the Nigerian Education Loan Fund by providing interest-free support for Nigerian students. NEL Fund advances a principle we strongly support. Tertiary education must no longer remain the preserve of the wealthy or privileged few. I commend Mr. President for helping to democratize that opportunity. Thank you, Mr. President. No pathway should be considered inferior. The graduate, technician, artisan, agricultural innovator, software developer, nurse, teacher, engineer, creative professionals, and entrepreneur all create value. The responsibility of the system is to help every learner discover where individual capability can meet societal need. Our task is not simply to build better schools. It is to build a generation capable of imagining and creating a future worthy of the dignity that Dr. Azikiwe envisioned. But knowledge cannot become prosperity in a vacuum. Can I have water?